Thunder up, Thunder Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge, the Thunder Live, a podcast that tells it like it is here. Post-game reaction live show here as the Thunder have beaten the Boston Celtics 105-92, improving to 11-0 versus the Eastern Conference this year, and holding the Celtics to 27 second-half points, guys. And Lou, I see Jesse's comment, Lou Dort gets left open for 3 straight threes in the fourth quarter. SGA's defense was ridiculous, as was the rest of this team in the second half. The defense, I mean, they had Boston just stymied in the second half, guys.
Yeah, they completely shut them down. 27 points in the second half for the defending NBA champs and a team that's, very good chance of getting back to the finals this year, representing the East. In that, it is unbelievable. That's just something that you do not see. 12 points in a quarter in the fourth quarter. Like, come on. That is great. Casey Wallace, again, just a great performance from him, especially in that fourth quarter, both defensively and offensively. Even though he was 1 of 5 from 3, still finished plus 11 in the plus minus with 13 points.
They got some guys that can just clamp you down, and there's nothing you can do about it. And this game to me, though, was one at the 3-point line. The Thunder shot 42% from 3. The Celtics 19%. That's where this game was won and lost right there, in my opinion. And Dort struggled early, but when it mattered most, the dude just balled right when they needed it the most. So just unbelievable performance.
And like Brett's saying, Hunter, we talked about this right before we started this show. I don't want to keep playing from double digits from behind, but this team is unbelievable when the deficit, and that's what you're thinking. We were sitting there watching it thinking, well, when's it going to happen? When's the comeback going to happen? And Casey Wallace was big tonight. Casey Wallace had a stretch, I think, 6 straight points off the turnovers where he just pushed the guy and went and laid it in, had a backdoor cut. Hartenstein, great again, I thought, doing a lot of the things that he is so good at, getting a defensive rebound and getting the outlet that gets this team on the break. And guys, Boston did a really good job of keeping the Thunder away from fast break points early. Second half, OKC did a lot better, but man, they did pretty good job of it.
Yeah, they did great at that. And then Hartenstein as well. His ability to bring up the ball at times is extremely valuable and not talked about enough, because a lot of bigs, they're going to get the rebounds, but then they're kind of just cement feet, not knowing what to do, bringing it up. But Hartenstein can bring it up court, and he does that a lot. So, massive momentum play. You had that block on one end by SGA against Jason Tatum, and then Hartenstein to slam it down on Derek White. That whole review, I thought they were going to end up calling it on Hartenstein. They only call a common foul. Not sure how you come away with just a common foul there, but the refs tonight, some questionable calls, to say the least, on both ends for the Thunder.
Hey, the other thing about this game that kind of, unless you look in the stats, may go unnoticed, but Shai getting 11 rebounds was big because they lost the rebounding margin overall. But I think Shai and Ihart both had double digits rebound, which was huge. To have your guard get 11 rebounds, big time in this game, guys.
Yeah, and I like the comment from Crystal. And speaking of our coach, not only is he the best coach in the NBA, he's the easiest to do an impersonation of.
Oh, there it is.
Hey,
I got to get something from Bishop.
The refs did let him play at the end of the game. The last 6 minutes, they actually let OKC and Boston play, and it was over at that point. Over.
Jerm, I got to get to something on Bishop here. I know, Jerm, you're still through text messages today. I saw you talking about Cam Johnson. I don't see why you would make a move. I don't. There's no reason to make a move if you're the Thunder. Zero reason. Zero. Why would you do it?
You're going to have to give up multiple players that are probably.
It doesn't matter. Why would you mess with what's going on right now?
Exactly, and the picks that you're going to have to do it. The Nets value him just as much as anybody in that organization, and they're going to expect a massive haul And right now you've won 15 straight games, multiple now in a row in which you've trailed by double digits. You're able to come back. I mean, they trailed today, by 13. They end up winning it by 13, holding the Celtics to 27 points in the second and half. Why do you make a move right now? There's just no reason to. And oh, by the way, no Alex Caruso and no Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
That's an elite comment from Brad. That's elite.
That's an elite comment. And Scott Foster, that's exactly right. I mean, you're going to get pulled over if you're barely going over. But it was interesting. Dort gets a tee for really just having a conversation with him. And then Derek White spends 5 minutes and gets a delay of game warning, and he's arguing worse. Make that make sense? I can't. The Thunder get 2 nights off now before they go on their 4-game East Coast road trip. You got in that stretch, guys, you got at Cleveland, at New York, at Washington, at Philly. So it's going to be, I mean, what's funny is we keep coming on these live shows, guys, and saying, well, in the next 3, the Thunder need to be, 2-1, and now they win again. So you get thinking, man, are they going to just sweep this entire thing?
Yeah, if they do that, that would be unreal, Jeremy. But 2 tough road games between the Knicks and the Cavs coming up. Washington and Philly, those are games that the Thunder should undoubtedly win. They're just not good teams, and the way that they're playing right now.
What's Caruso's timetable, Hunter?
Stuff like that is so not clear, because you can get the estimated stuff, and some of it is just estimated to return to practice and start the path of return to play. So don't really know that.
Hey, this team right now is on their way for 70 wins. Based off what they're playing right now, with not having Ihart and Chet and Caruso. Chet and Ihart haven't played a game together, and you're on your way to win 70 games. That's unbelievable. I mean, this team has not been full strength all year, and they're just winning. It's what they do. 8, what is it now? 19-1 with Ihart. Is that right? Am I saying?
Correct. And the one loss was a narrow loss due to a just fantastic game from Fred VanVleet. Massive 40-foot 3-pointer that really sealed the deal there. So, I mean, you're really one shot away from talking about a team that's won 19 games out of 19 with Isaiah Hartenstein active.
Yeah.
And I agree with Bishop. There is no need to rush him back at all.
I'm not putting him back, even if he's – I mean, I'm being very patient with the Chet Holmgren return. And, guys, A.J. Mitchell's been good, but when it gets closer to playoffs, I don't see him on the floor at all.
No, I wouldn't expect them to go over a 10-man rotation. And, I mean, you're adding Chet back into the mix there in that. So, yeah, I don't know how he would break the rotation there. And then with Chet, I don't think you want to hold out too long. I think the ideal thing is to get him back mid-March after the All-Star break, where you have a couple, really 3.5, 4 weeks before the playoffs start, to get him back into rhythm, to get him adjusted to playing live basketball against talented teams at the 4, something he's never done before. Played the 4 this summer with Hartenstein, but again, that's in the summer. That's not in the NBA an actual meaningful basketball game. So to give him time to get adjusted, if there's any sort of concern there with his injury, so that you're not sitting at the playoffs with him trying to figure that stuff out in the most meaningful part of the season.
Hey, the defense was great. They're talking about stealing. They had a lot of steals. When you look at it tonight, somebody mentioned Kaysen earlier. Guys, Kaysen Wallace, in my opinion, is so far ahead of Lou Dort in his career when Lou Dort was in the league. Jeremy, you can shake your head. He is. He's
offensively.
Offensively, not even
defense. Guys,
offensively, yes.
Lou Dort's second year in the league was not doing what Kaysen Wallace is doing.
Jay, Lou Dort came on a 10-day contract and never looked back.
I get it.
You not remember series in the bubble where Lou Dort locked up James Harden?
Overall player, guys, is what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about offensively. Listen, and Jay, you brought up defensively. You brought up some things. Listen, guys, what separates Lou Dort from all the other great defenders is he is an absolute locomotive. You cannot push him around. He's going to get up in your business. He's going to stay there, and you can't push him. That's why he can guard bigs too. To me, Lou Dort and Jay, he was horrific offensively at the beginning of the game.
He's invaluable to this team. I agree with you.
But what he does on guys like Tatum and Jaylen Brown today, and hey, two guys today, guys, that you got to give kudos to for the Thunder. Kendrick Williams was great today. He made a couple good passes, was great on defense. He played great defense against Jaylen Brown on a couple possessions. And the other guys, Jay Will, Arkansas Jay Will, made a huge three, made another great play, was good on the glass. Those are guys you got to get. Those are guys that you got to have, and they got
it. Undefeated with Jay Will in the lineup.
Correct.
They've only lost one game with iHeart. So, hey, the other thing is this. I think what I'm saying about Case and Wallace is nobody, and I mean absolutely, what's the little thing from Rudy German in the locker room? No one. And I mean no one.
No one.
Yeah. No one thought Case and Wallace would be this good in year two. Nobody. There's no way.
Well, hey, guys, do you know
Yes.
you know what the Celtics did in the first half, guys, to the Thunder? They laid off Case and Wallace. They laid off Lou Dort. And they can lay off Hartenstein a little. So, and I think that's the recipe. And that's why in the text thread I was talking about, it'd be nice to have a guy who can spread the floor a little like Cam. But here's the deal. If they lay off him that much, Dort and Case and Wallace are going to have to make him pay. And when they did, this game was over. It was over when that happened.
Hey, what do you think about Caleb's question there, guys?
I'll answer that first.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Jay will be the one getting the minutes. The guy that's not going to get minutes in that. Once they get Chet back and they're going down to where they're cutting minutes because of the playoffs, he's going to be Kenrich Williams. But Jay will, if healthy, will be getting minutes off of the bench and probably a good amount at the 4 and 5 for the Thunder.
Hey, and Colin, I think like Hunter's mentioned before, I think this is going to be a race between the SGA and Jokic.
I think the stretch that he's on right now might seal it for him.
And here's the thing, guys.
Both ends is it hasn't been done in so long. Tonight, block Jason Tatum, one of the best players in the NBA, to block him at the rim and then go coast to coast for that Hartenstein dunk there. It's just stuff you don't see. I mean, he leads the NBA in 30-point games. Seems like he's getting it every night. I mean, he would have a big streak going right now, but the other night he didn't play in the fourth quarter. He had 29 through 3 quarters against the Clippers. So
the other thing is he also came behind Kristaps Porzingis and stole a ball with probably under 2:50 left. And I can't wait till they get these guys back and get the flow going again. You got Wednesday night, guys. You got Mitchell versus SGA. That's going to be a great battle Wednesday night in Cleveland. Hey, we can probably open up the phone lines if people want to call in. We're going to open up the phone lines, give you a chance to call in, give us your takes on this game. Yeah, Patriots fired Jared Mayo.
I don't understand that. What the heck?
No, he was awful. What are you talking about?
How many years did he coach, Hunter?
It was 1 year, but that was a terrible hire.
1 year.
That's a terrible hire. We're not talking about football, but go get Ben Johnson.
Hey, don't look now. But the Thunder lead is now 7 games. 7 games over the second.
There's a bigger gap between 1 and 2.
Yes.
Than there is between 2 and 10 in the West.
Yeah,
this comment by Johnson is this game should have been on ABC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
ABC Sunday basketball. It should have been this game, not on NBA TV or FanDuel or whatever. It is a travesty.
Well, it's NBA TV, but if you live in the Boston viewing area or Oklahoma market,
it's blackout.
Watch it. You have to have FanDuel for the Thunder. I think for up in New England, it's like NBC Boston or whatever. It's just ridiculous. There's no reason that the Thunder shouldn't be getting up there with just about anyone in national TV games because they have the best players in the NBA. They have an extremely young team that is really at the beginning of what could be a dynasty.
Hey, and
by the
there's
way,
the link.
Didn't even have a great game. I mean, They still win.
He didn't play great. He got in early foul trouble. Hey, there's the link to call in. Hunter put it in there for you guys. Call in, give us your take. Hey, this comment here, I agree. Sam Presti is a thief. He's a thief.
Yeah, what they have right now, roster-wise, is second to none. This is just be very disappointed if they don't at least get to the finals and have a chance to win this whole thing this year with this lineup. I mean, they got to be the favorite guys right now, are they not? Do you think Boston's still the favorite?
Scary thing to me, Jay.
I think probably Boston is still the favorite.
Why though? Because of the experience?
Yes, because they did it last year and all that, and still a very good team. But yeah, I mean, the Thunder have to be the favorite in the West. And I mean, again, you're talking about there's a larger gap between 1 through 2, one spot in the West compared to 2 through 10, the rest of the playoff field.
Crazy.
And the scary thing to me, guys, is if the Thunder are winning by 8 to 10 games going in the playoffs, all the talk's going to be is they have to win it. They should win this. And you don't want that. I mean, OKC's got to continually play loose and with this kind of MO. That's the key. Yeah. Jay, we did a little swap. Speaking of swap, we're going to get a call in here in a minute. But before we do, the one complaint I have, okay, I'm going to give a complaint, Jay. And Hunter already knows it because I talked to him on the phone. When Peyton Pritchard is guarding SGA, why is OKC bringing a man to screen and have the switch be on Tatum? Now Tatum guards him. Let SGA cook Pritchard.
Yeah.
I do not understand that.
Yeah, he would have destroyed
Pritchard. No, come set a screen so I can have Tatum guard. Now Tatum can't guard him either, but
yeah. Hey, let's get to Colin. Colin, you're on the line.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing after that game.
Great victory, man. Great victory.
Again, like I said, honestly, I think the MVP moment for Shai was that block and lob. I was, like I said in the comment section, I was running around my house, like, didn't know what to do because I wasn't expecting it. And then, like I said, against Knicks, SGA proved it again where rides Lou Dort's hot hand in late game and just doesn't really try to do too much and just let the game come to him.
Hey, Colin, you mentioned it the other day. I think that has been the transition that SGA has made, specifically in this winning streak. He's given the ball up to guys that are hot down the stretch. He hasn't just tried to put it on his back, and it's great.
Early in the season, when we lost to Denver in the late game, he was trying to take like 10 shots there instead of trying to find an open man or something. He tried to take over the game, and we lost. So the fact that he's able to overcome that and kind of just let the game come to him, and just the fact that we're, I think, 30-5 and dominating this much, it's kind of getting to the point that it's really championship or bust, really, for this team, or at least finals appearance.
I agree, and I think today what you had are two really good defensive teams, and I see Mehdi talking about it here. This Bulls team, this Thunder team is kind of like a throwback as far as defense. They are physical. They shut you down. They lock you down. And hopefully in playoffs, it doesn't come back to bite him with the whistles getting really tight. I hope not.
I'm going to end off on a hot take.
Yeah.
If Chet didn't get hurt and we didn't get hurt as much in the beginning, we would have made a run for the Warriors' best record.
You're saying if Chet and Ihart were healthy the whole year?
Yeah, and we didn't have an injury bug with like.
Well, they're on their way to almost get it right now.
Colin. Yeah, I think we can definitely put up a chance for the Warriors.
Hey, let me ask you this, Colin, before you get off here. Give me the win total for the Thunder this year. I'm at 68.
I'm at 70.
Wow. Okay. Hunter, Jeremy, what do you got? Hey, thanks for calling.
Well, thanks for calling. I can't answer that yet. I mean, here's the deal. If
it's a prediction, Jeremy. Why can't you answer it? I mean,
I'll say 67. I'll go one under you because Jay, I think if they have a big lead, you don't know what happens down the stretch.
I'm gonna stay conservative and say 65.
Okay. Hey, this comment here on the Bulls, Jay. Now I cannot even talk about SGA with Michael Jordan yet. I do like the analogy and the comparison because it is their comparison in teams wise. And the other guy you got to put in there is Ihart is Dennis Rodman. I said it the other night. Ihart is OKC's Dennis Rodman for this team.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about scoring.
Yeah. Got another caller on the line. Kayla, you're on the line.
Do not have a caller there. there's an issue there. So.
Oh, there's an issue there, Kayla. Try it back. Try calling back. Make sure you unmute your mic so we can get you on here. Does it drive you crazy that iHeart tries to go back? No, it doesn't, because I think he's a really good passer. It doesn't drive me crazy.
And they've done a great job, guys, of not having a lot of miscommunication on that. They had one today between him and J-Dub, but for the most part, the communication's been pretty solid. And when they're going back door, he's got pretty good vision, really good vision, actually, and doesn't usually force it. Couple times a day that happened, but man, I'll take that any day, even if there's a couple mistakes.
Yeah, and Kayla, when you call back, just make sure you connect your mic. It'll let us let you on there. So, hey, Wiggins now back-to-back games has been unbelievable. Earlier, it's finally like, okay, I think he's hitting his stride now, and he's getting the minutes. He's playing well.
Wasn't Wiggins the guy we were talking about? I couldn't remember if it was Wiggins or Dort, maybe both, dealing with a hand injury.
Well, Wiggins was bothered by something earlier in the year. And
I think come out of college.
That's why his playing time was limited a little bit, I think, is what we were saying earlier on, is because he was trying to get back, I think, full rep, full speed.
Maryland.
Okay.
Don't you think he seems just more confident? Like, to me, he's shooting the ball when he's not just wide open. Today guy had him at the 3-point line and just one up on him, and he just pulled the trigger.
Yeah, that's right. But today, when you look at Wiggins, guys, minutes wise, I had to pull it up here, but I don't know. I had to pull it up here. How many, Hunter?
20 minutes, 15 points, 3 of 6 from 3.
How many did Kaysen play minutes?
Kaysen played 35.
Isaiah Joe in the second half.
What about him?
Did he play over 2 minutes?
No, I mean, you look through the Thunder starting 5, everyone played 35 minutes or more. SGA played 39. Everyone else played 35. Only 9 guys played tonight. Jay Will, 9. Kenrich Williams, 12. Isaiah Joe, 17. Aaron Wiggins, 20. So,
and Jerm, I know you're not on the Isaiah Joe train as much as other people, but hey, real quick, I think what he does for this team is going to be valuable. Okay, I just do. I think when you go look at teams that win championships, they have guys that come off the bench and can knock down threes and just kill you. And he's that type of guy.
Had 2 big threes early when the Thunder were killing. What finished 2 of 5 from 3. One of them was a buzzer beater attempt that just wasn't a great look for him. And I know Jerm has some thoughts about.
Listen, I agree. Isaiah Joe's a pretty good spot-up shooter. He's not been as good as I hoped he would have been this year on spot-up shooting. But you can't argue that Cam Johnson shooting percentage. No, shooting percentage-wise is way better.
But Jerm, here's the difference. Cam Johnson's a totally different player.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a way better player. I agree.
They don't need that. They don't need a guy like that.
I agree. You're saying bringing him in. You're saying he might demand the ball more.
No, and a lot more minutes.
Minutes and what they're going to have to give up to get him.
I get that. If that's your argument, I get saying he's going to – you don't want another guy who's going to be scoring 20 and demanding the ball and taking it from SGA or Chet or these other guys. Well, I get that. But to not say he's not a way better player than Isaiah Joe is a crazy take. He's a way better player.
He's a better overall player, yes, Jeremy.
He's a better shooter
for this team, though.
The whole thing is the fit is my hesitation with it. Is he going to be okay? He's found himself as a starter now and doing really well in Brooklyn as that. Now you're going to say bring him to Oklahoma City where he's not going to be starting because, again, when they have Chet, that starting 5 has to be SGA, Dort, J-Dub, Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein. That has to be the starting 5. You have him off the bench, and then it's also what you're going to have to give up to get him. I don't think there's a world where they can only give up one of Isaiah Joe or Aaron Wiggins to get him. I think they're going to have to give up both and some more draft capital as well because Brooklyn values him that much.
Here's a wild take. They could wrap him up, ship him to Thunder for nothing, and I wouldn't take it right now. For 0 picks. I don't care. I don't think it Sometimes you got what you need and you don't need to mess with it. I know there's a trade deadline out there. I get it. Thunder have what they need to go win a ship. So
the trade deadline's a month away. I think it's February 6th,
somewhere
in that time frame.
You don't change it up.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. And so this stuff is going to continue to heat up. Even if the Thunder don't end up getting them, they're probably going to be in trade talks for a lot of guys because of being the best team in the NBA. But I think, like you said, Jay, I think this team, this is their real first year where they can go win a championship. See what you can do, because I think they can do it right now. I think they can win a championship with what they have currently on the roster.
And here's a hot take. On January 5th or 6th, whatever day today is, Sam Presti's going to make a move because I think Sam Presti tries to fiddle with everything. I think he will. I think he'll try to do something. I just think he will. I wish they wouldn't. But
I know we got a caller. We'll get to it in a second. But I will say this: NBA players know the world of NBA and business, and they know that there's going to be guys possibly looking at the trade. And I agree with another big possibly would be the only move to make. But here's the deal. The players know that they're making it very hard for Sam Presti to make a move because it's got to be going through his mind as well. Like, I'm not sure if I want to even touch this right now. We got Bowman, I think, is on the line. Is that correct?
Yeah, you actually pronounced it correct.
Hey, what's going on, Bowman?
I'm all right, guys. I love the win tonight. I didn't like how Dagnall was coaching earlier because he kept putting Hartenstein on, who was it? Brown or something like that. I can't remember, but
he was on Jaylen Brown. There was a mismatch.
Yeah, and I was like, why don't you have him on Porzingis? It makes no sense. He did that last game too.
The last game was worse. I thought he did it worse. Yes.
Most of the game, and actually all the game. And so this game, it made me feel very uncomfortable. Like, play your matchups the right way. We could have lost, but thankfully he changed that philosophy up. I'm proud of our team. And we do need more consistent 3-point shooting, but I really don't want to break this team up.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And the last thing I want to say is, I know you guys might not agree with me, but I think we should sign Nerlens Noel.
Now, hey, used to be with the Thunder. So, I mean, hey, as far as a big, I mean, that gives you a guy. I mean, I just, how many minutes would he play?
Probably 11 to 12, only because it protects Hartenstein and Chet from getting injured from playing too many minutes. And the fact that his inside presence, as far as blocking ability, I feel like that we won't really skip a beat. His offense may not be there, but the defensive timing on blocking shots will be there.
Are you saying instead of Arkansas, Jay Will?
No, I mean, he can play alongside him. He can play power forward. Jay will.
Well, what I would like, and I like Noel. Okay, I like Noel. David Caldwell in the chat also said it would like another big. I think more than anything, what it does give you is, but Boston went with 2 or 3 bigs today on their second unit. So especially in a second unit scenario, you know, you could have Jay Will and him type of deal. So I don't think getting another big is an issue.
I think it's 3-point shooting.
I think that needs to be done as well. If you're going to make a move, I do like that.
Yeah, and I think ideally, if you know, you're talking about 3-point shooting, Hunter, I mentioned this to you the other day. If you're going to go get a guy, and you mentioned Cam Johnson, I think this team is better off getting a guy that all he does is shoot threes. They don't need it. Like, for instance, you can't get him, but a guy like Buddy Hield that just is a pure shooter.
If
you're going to trade and get somebody, that type of guy I think you could use, but not a guy that plays all the different stuff like Cam Johnson. I don't think it fits.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the call, Bowman.
No problem. Take it easy.
Have a good one.
I'm still not sold on them needing another big, because when they get Chet back, I mean, you're talking it's going to be Chet, Hartenstein, probably Jay Will from Arkansas as your 3 that you're playing down the stretch. I don't think that they really need to upgrade from Jay Will. I think he gives you solid minutes off the bench.
Well, look at who you go up against, though. Who do you think is going to be the biggest matchup?
What?
Who do you think would be the toughest matchup in the West?
In terms of bigs or what?
Well, just whatever you think you're going to face in the West, I think that's what you're trying to get in the trade. Like, who do we need to help us get through this? To get
as of right now, I think Kenrich Williams is fine. If they need somebody else there, that would give you 4 down the stretch. I mean, that's just my thoughts. I don't think they really need to make any move right now. I think this team is good enough in showing it when they're down 2 of their, I would say, core players that they would have to win a championship. And they're now an official franchise record. They broke the old Supersonics record, 4 wins in a row. So 15 wins in a row. Why change anything?
Hey, how many All-Stars on this team?
2.
There's 2.
I agree with you. Hey, the other thing is this. You look at it. I think you mentioned it the other day, Hunter, when we were talking about, and we said, yeah, we don't think they need to get a guy at the trade deadline. My question is not what you think they should do. Do you think they will? That's the question I'm asking now. Do you think they will make a move? Yes or no?
I think, honestly, now the Cam Johnson stuff, I think there is something to that. But I do think Sam Presti has kind of learned from last year. Last year, they make a move that was just a very bad move. They would have been significantly better off by not making that move, keeping what they had there with Trey Mann instead of bringing in Gordon Hayward, who was, I mean, he wouldn't take a shot down the stretch. Like, you could not play him in that series against Dallas. So I think there's a better chance than you would think for them not to make a move than for them to make a move.
Hey, and I see this comment. Here's what
Travis.
It's a travesty, and here's the deal. NBA needs to wake up. The Thunder are the future in the NBA. They need to be on national TV. They need to be on Christmas Day. Wake up, put them on TV, put them on national TV like they did with Golden State when Golden State got really good. That's what the Thunder is going to be over the next 3 to 5 years. You might as well start putting them on TV, guys. Get ready for it. Like, I know it's a small market, but wake up, put them on TV, put them on Christmas Day. It's time for that.
I agree. And guys,
my final thoughts, I've been seeing it multiple times. Jimmy Butler. No.
Heck no.
No.
Lou Dort is Jimmy Butler. Less offensive, but
yes, defensively he's equivalent, if not maybe.
Don't need Butler.
But
why would you mess with that chemistry? No.
Yes, it would completely derail the chemistry of the team. Right now, he is suspended by the Heat for 7 games until the Players Association can fight, and they're likely to, I think, win the appeal to unsuspend him. There's been moments this year, you go back a few weeks ago, Jimmy Butler could have tied the game, and it's a league veteran, played a lot of basketball, multi-time All-Star, one of the best players in the NBA, not understanding clock management, and you having to get a 3-up to tie the game and send it to overtime because of the other issues going on. I would assume as the reason as to why that happened. It's just not a fit. And again, Thunder would have to give up a whole lot to get him. That's not worth it. You guys like that you can't just trade for future picks. Like, their teams are expecting current players that will make a difference, which is a Thunder bench that's one of the best in the NBA.
Yeah, as Chris said, we'll close it with this, guys. The Thunder team today was championship caliber. They've been championship caliber all year. They get it done today at home, finishing their home stretch unscathed, 105-92 against the Boston Celtics. And now they go to Cleveland on Wednesday to begin the 4-game stretch out east. Hey, thanks for watching our post-game Instant Reaction Live. If you have not subscribed to our channel, it's called the Sooner Surge YouTube channel. Hit the like. We'll be back Wednesday for another edition of the Thunder Instant Reaction Live show following the Thunder versus the Cavaliers, 2 teams atop the Eastern Conference. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.